What's up, my party people? It's me, Ben. I'm Ben. That's me. Being fat was never the problem. It was always the solution. The solution to what, you might ask? The solution to the problem. Duh. Pay attention. What's the problem? That's what I'm saying. What's the problem? There isn't one. There's only solutions. It might be hard to believe looking at me now, but I used to be fat myself. I know, it's true. I could take my shirt off and show you the scars, but this isn't that kind of YouTube channel. I was a fat little Ben Jr. throughout all of school, so I know what I'm talking about when I say that being fat was a gift. A great education that public school could not hope to best. Best believe it.
I'm not a child, Dave. If you think I'm a porker, then just come right out and say it.
No, I don't think you're a porker.
Well, then why, when the idea of sleeping with me comes up, do you all of a sudden have a girlfriend?
Because I do. I have a girlfriend.
To the liar, to the beached whale?
I want to talk about the fat acceptance movement. What is the fat acceptance movement? Good question. Why, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a movement for fat people to be accepted. Good answer. But what does it even mean to be accepted? I looked up what words mean on the internet, and this is what I found about what the word acceptance means. Acceptance. Adjective. 1. Widely encountered, used, or recognized. 2. Generally approved, believed, or recognized. 3. Generally approved, or compelling, recognition. Derived from the Latin word acceptare, meaning to receive regularly, submit to, or admit of. Words are very powerful and important. They're basically magic because they're vibrational sound frequencies that can influence people's minds. So you better pay attention, because I'm pretty much a real-life wizard, and I'm casting some pretty potent spells here, and I don't feel like spelling it out to all the Dumbledores out there. I'll probably do a video on the magic word sometimes, if I remember to not forget. Words also convey information. Clearly, since they have an acceptance movement, they don't feel like they are accepted. Given that we have clearly defined the limits of magic of the word acceptare, we can very easily glean that they feel that fatness is not generally approved of. They're right. The vast majority of people don't really want to be fat. Even fat people generally would much rather be thin and fit and healthy. That's why so many of them try to diet and exercise to lose the weight. Even the ones who don't do that, if they were offered a magic pill that instantly made them fit, it's definitely true that most would take it. They don't want to be the big old boom-baladdy. They want to be Barbie and Ken. No, not that Ken, the Street Fighter. That's the Ken guys want to be. And if they don't want to be what they are being, then is that really their true being? Are they truly fat people? Or are they people who just happen to be fat? We getting philosophical like now. Do they want to be accepted for who they are in spite of what they're being? Or is what they're being who they truly are and you just gotta accept it? Could most people even tell the difference between the two? Could they accept it? How many of those fat acceptivists accept themselves? If they do accept themselves, why do they care if others don't? And if they don't accept themselves, why try to make others accept them? That doesn't sound very acceptable. 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 Acceptare maximus Polonius. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow, as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man.
Birders ahoy! Want to know why my Roger is so shit, Johnny? Come on down to Cheesy Beards for all your pirate birder needs.
Serving decent food for many years, Cheesy Beards has something special, everyone.
Like our below decks burger served with a side of cucumber. The soggy dog. It's Scurvy Fries Kid Salad Special with dessert fries.
How has it come to this? When did it all go wrong? When did it get to the point when a man doesn't even have enough self-acceptance to accept that he's getting fat and to embrace it completely? People nowadays are weak diaper babies who need other people's approval to feel good about themselves. And not just people nowadays, but people yesterdays and throughout all time needed that too. How could we let this happen? The lack of self-acceptance is unacceptable, and I don't accept it. Frankly, it's un-American, and if even Americans can't accept themselves and be proud of it, how can we show the rest of the world how it's done? I mean, we don't even crack the top 10 fattest countries anymore. We're number 11. We're less obese than Micronesia, okay? Micronesia. It's embarrassing, okay? We're bigger than that, guys. Come on. You're slacking on the slacking. Okay. I get it. Most people don't want to be fat. But how do most people get to that point? Certainly, this is more of an issue in the modern era than in any previous time. Folk would rarely reach any appreciably large size before the 20th century. Those that did tended to be pretty financially stable, whereas obesity in the present is increasingly correlated with lower incomes, at least here in the States. It's a little unprecedented that we've reached a level of advancement that even some of the poorest have access to greater and more variety of food than even the most powerful of ancient rulers. Still, despite advancements in certain aspects, we're still stuck with some pretty archaic collective thought patterns, which have caused history to seem cyclical in nature, even though it doesn't have to be that way. If we could grow from the frankly barbarous mindsets which have persisted within people since prehistory, those old cyclical tragedies which play out again and again would cease as easily and as naturally as a man's headache would end as soon as he stops hitting his head against a brick wall. The biggest reason any people or a group of people have conflict with each other is due to a mindset of scarcity. Even though we have this great abundance, people are still operating on a scarcity mindset, so they keep eating. Also, they keep eating because food tastes good. Like, it has sugar and stuff in it, so it's basically the most delicious thing ever, food is. Duh. I don't know if you guys out there in the listening audience have ever eaten food before, but if you have, you know what I'm talking about. Like, a lot of it is pretty good. You can take my word for it. I eat food every single day. I'm loving it. Scarcity is scare-city. Even billionaires and jillionaires still try to devour more. People are voracious because they are still worried about where their next meal will come from, or making the rent payment, or the bills, or trying to keep their job. I mean, think about it. If everybody could just snap their fingers and manifest any kind of material good, like a house, or a plate of nuggets, or a house of nuggets, what problems would people really have with each other? Like, there would be no more war. Okay, maybe a couple guys would fight every now and then to see who gets to take Sophie to the dance, but that would be it. I know, it's tough. The scarcity of girlfriends. Even I've had to limit myself. Only 3.5 billion girlfriends for me, max. Okay, that's my limit. No more for me, thank you. I've had enough. I'm trying to cut back. I'll save some for the rest of you guys who don't know how to snap your fingers and make a girlfriend manifest from the ether like me. But I am a master of the Collinson family bloodline ultimate secret technique. So I've been playing with stacked deck, and it's really not fair. So for any guys in my audience, you have my permission to have a girlfriend of your very own, without having to share with anybody. No need to thank me, friend. I'm just doing my part. I'm just like the rest of you guys. Honest. And for any girls in the audience who are worried about the scarcity of boyfriends, no need to fear. There, I will be your boyfriend. Parasocially, of course. The best part is that I never have to leave you either. Whenever you're feeling lonely or want to spend some time with me and hear my voice, you can always refresh this page and start the video again, and again, and again. I'll be with you forever and always, babe. Honest. Actually, that is kind of true, in a way. Well, if you want either of those things, leave a like and a subscribe, and I'm sure one will be attracted to you. They'll be all like, ooh, baby, you're subscribed to All I Am? Talk about some razzmatazz. Let's get married right now! Anyways, I went off on a tangent. People acting on a scarcity mindset, plus more food that they can eat, plus food is tasty and makes you feel good, plus how much self-control do most people have anyways, besides me? Add it all up and it equals big city living. But don't fret, Chet. We can fix this mess, Jess. We just have to become acceptable to yourself most of all.
I am short, fat, and proud of that, and so with all my might, I up, down to my appetite's delight. While I up, down, touch the ground, I think of things to chew, like honey and milk and chocolate, with a hefty, happy appetite. I'm a hefty, happy poo.
With a hefty, happy appetite, he's a hefty, happy poo.
Oh, bother. Empty again. Only the sticky parts left.
How does someone become acceptable? Exceptionally, of course. It's easy. All you have to do is love yourself, and then be it. It's very easy to tell between people who accept themselves as they really are and people who don't. For a fun social experiment, try going up to heavier people with the biggest smile on your face and saying, "You're fat! You are fat!" and see what kind of reaction they have. Do they say, excuse you, who do you think you are? That's incredibly insulting and rude. Boo to you, girlfriend. Get out of my face. Or do they say, damn, betcha I'm fat. I'm a fluffaluffagus and proud of it. You know it, fam. I'm fat and loving it. Yippee! Yahoo! Out of those two examples, which person do you think is more accepting of their body? The one who was offended or the one who owned it? Rhetorical question. Take a lap, Farley. Obviously, it was the latter. They were far more positive about their body, and they were definitely not in denial or unacceptance about it. Talk about fat positivity. That's the spirit to strive for, people. Does somebody have to want to be fat in order to be accepting that they are fat and okay with it? Rhetorical question. Take a lap, Farley. That's a capital K. No, dummy. They don't have to want to be fat. They just have to be true and honest with themselves. Which is the best thing to be with yourself? There's plenty of reasons to still be fat while not exactly wanting to be, including, I'm too lazy and I like eating ice cream and candy too much. Get out of my face. That's a completely valid reason, as long as you're honest with it. Who doesn't like being lazy and eating ice cream? I sure do. Just not as much as I like having a super hot bod, which babes dig. Every single one of them. Like and subscribe. Boy, people are going to think I'm so conceited. But that's okay, because I accept that. That people will think that, not that I am. This video is about all kinds of acceptance. I know I said it already in this video, but I really can't stress the Polonius quote enough. This above all, to thine own self be true, and it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Body positivity begins at self-acceptance. Self-acceptance begins with honesty and self-love. Even if you don't like everything about yourself, don't you think it's important to accept about yourself even those things? Rhetorical question. Take a lap, Barley. Everybody has problems and aspects of themselves that they want to work on, whether they accept they do or not. What's important is that you accept who you are in totality, all the good and bad. Heck, accept others for who and what they're being to you too. Very often, hate people give off is really just a kind of misdirected love. Like the other day, when my little sister told me I was eating too many cookies and making fun of me because it's supposed to be cut season and I'm eating birthday cake, sprinkle, cookie, s'more cookies, and also judging me about my flavor choice because apparently sprinkles don't actually add any flavor, even though that doesn't make any sense because they're literally made out of sugar, so how could they not add sweetness? Also, it's birthday cake? How am I supposed to know it's a birthday cake flavored s'more cookie if it doesn't have birthday sprinkles in it? Like, come on. Think a little bit. Seriously. Even though she was spraying that hate on me, I knew that deep down, she's not actually a spiteful and vindictive gremlin. She was just trying to help me remember that I am trying to cut for the summer. So she was really just trying to be very sweet and helpful. The most important thing to remember in accepting yourself is that nobody is perfect. And everybody, no matter what kind of imperfections they have, are all just trying to be a little bit better than the person they were yesterday. And that's okay. Nobody is perfect. Nobody's perfect. And no one and nothing is ever going to make us that way. And that's okay. That's okay.
Everything is perfect. Nothing can go wrong.
Sarah, you didn't.
What? Why would you say that? Do you not watch movies?
Well, I finally watched Mannequin.
Oh, yeah? Did you like it?
Ha! You didn't think I was being serious, did you? Nobody is perfect. Yeah, right. Who do you think you're listening to? All I am, of course. Did you forget? It's me, Ben. I'm Ben. That's me. It's easy being perfect, especially if you're a master of the Collinson family bloodline ultimate secret technique, which I am supreme master of course. But even still, I don't know why more people become perfect either. It's easy. Just let me, the perfect, divine, angelic being Ben, show you how. It's ABC. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey now. What do you mean you don't believe me? Of course I can teach you how to be perfect. It's do-re-mi. Wait. You mean to say that you don't think I'm perfect at all? You think I'm getting too big for my britches during cut season? But I am perfect, just the way I am. That's not funny. No, I really mean that. I'm perfectly perfect, just the way I am, and I can prove it, Buster. Prove it perfectly, too. Damn betcha. You know what this whole perfect, imperfect, dichotomous debacle really stems from is society collectively thinking, somehow, erroneously, that having flaws, or making mistakes, or having imperfections somehow keeps you from being perfect. Where the hell did they get that from? That doesn't make any sense. Of course you can be imperfect and yet still perfect at the same time. Perfectly imperfect. No, that's not a contradiction. It's a pro-tradiction. Yes, I made that word up. All words are made up. Perfectly made up. What we have here is called a false dichotomy, because it only seems like these things contradict, but really, if you think about it, these things are very easily reconcilable. It's 1, 2, 3, ABC. I'll give you a perfect example of perfection. Let's say little Johnny is bad at math. He always brings home bad grades to his parents, and he always feels glum about it. One day, he decides that enough is enough. He's getting good grades in math no matter what. So he asks his teacher for help whenever he makes mistakes. He studies every day after school, and he makes sure he does all his homework. He keeps at it over and over and over again. He brings home test pads that are bad, but just a little bit better than the last time. A little less bad. This keeps going on and on until one day little Johnny comes home running, so excited. He rushes over to his mom and dad, jumping up and down. Mom, look! Dad, look! I got an A on my test! I got an A on my test! I did it! I did it! Aren't you proud of me? Wouldn't you say little Johnny was perfect? And not just at the end of the story either, but all throughout the story he was being perfect. Beginning, middle, and end. The entire process was perfection itself, without flaw, even with all his flaws. If a child learning from his mistakes is perfect, then certainly making mistakes is perfect too. Divinely perfect. Divinity itself makes mistakes too, you know. God literally created making mistakes. God made every single mistake that has ever existed, which is way more mistakes than little Johnny made. And if God isn't perfect, who and what is? See what I mean? Do you understand? It's easy being perfect. It was never some big fat secret. All you have to do is be what you already are, perfectly. Even hidden in the word imperfect are the words, I'm perf. No matter what parts of yourself you or other people don't like about yourself, they don't and can't stop you from being who and what you truly are. Perfect. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mistakes are very wonderful things and great teachers that help you learn even more about who and what you are truly. And then you can be yourself even more in even greater, deeper, and fuller perfection. Thank you, my perfect people, for watching this video and for subscribing and liking too. It'll help me have the biggest, fattest, most perfect channel I can have. Till the next episode. Bye.